a comfortable seat. Of course, these are all options, so if you really feel like you need something other than sitting, it's okay. But you want to find a comfortable seat where you can let the knees relax as much as possible. You can always use pillows underneath the knees as well. And just take a moment to roll the shoulders up and back a couple times. Just get a little comfortable into this position, and maybe just take the neck side to side. You can roll it if that feels good for you. And then just come to find a space where you are sitting nice and tall, spine aligned. Left hand can face up or down on the knee, whatever feels good for you. If you want, you can come into the chin mudra, which is bringing the pointer finger and thumb together. And then on our right hand, that's what we're going to use to do our alternate nostril breathing. So I bring my pointer finger, my middle finger to the pad underneath my thumb. And then I'm going to use my ring finger on my left nostril and my thumb on my right nostril. And this is kind of a fancy way of doing it. So if it doesn't feel good for you, you can also, just use your pointer. I find that this ring finger is like a nice gentle press, and you have a lot of control with your thumb, so it's a good mix for me. So when we do alternate nostril breathing, we want to start and end always on the left, and the goal is to have our inhale and our exhale be even. So I'm going to start us out with 4 counts. If you find that's too much for you, bring it down to 3. If it's not enough for you to take a nice full breath, bring it up to 5, 6, whatever feels good for you. But I'll cue us at 4 for 2 full rounds, and then you can just take it into your own. We'll do about 5 rounds after that. And we want to keep the eyes closed. This is meant to be a cooling and calming breath for us at the start of our practice. So we start by covering our right nostril with our thumb. Begin to inhale through the left. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Seal both. Then release the thumb. Exhale through right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Seal. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Round 2. Inhale left. 3, 4. Seal. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Seal both. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Continuing at your own pace, maybe taking that up or down. Checking in that you're lengthening along the back of the neck. Keep the elbow and right shoulder nice and relaxed. Lean it against the body. Maybe as you go on, you can grow that count plus 1 more on your next round. Push all that air out before taking that next inhale. Take 1 more final round. And finish that bend around. Just bring the right hand down to the right knee. Keep the eyes closed and breathe freely through both nostrils. Taking a moment here to set our intention for our class. Staying grounded with the breath. Maybe dedication. Maybe just resolving not to have any judgments about your flexibility, your body, and accepting it exactly where it's at today. Take a deep inhale, bring the arms up overhead, bring the palms to touch. Exhale the hands to heart center, gently opening the eyes. We'll bring the hands to the knees. Just switch the crossing of the legs from however you had it during the breath. And then we're just gonna start with some organic movement, taking some rolls through the hips, curving into the lower back as you come around, really pushing into the shoulders. Maybe keeping the eyes closed during this simple movement, just feeling into that side body as you come across, that mid and lower back as you lean back, and they're really feeling into the shoulders, and we'll take it in the opposite direction. Take one more round, and then we'll come to sit up nice and tall. We're gonna come into just a basic fire log pigeon. So double is where we stack our knee on top of our foot, or our ankle on top of our knee. So one on top. I've got my right on top. We're gonna switch and do both sides. We're gonna inhale, nice and tall. As you exhale, bring the hands to the mat. All right, this might be enough intensity for you. So my right leg's on top, so I'm feeling it in my right hip in the back glutes. I might be able to walk a little bit further. It's still the beginning of our practice, so we're not like cranking it out. If it's available and it doesn't feel too intense, you'll just start to lay on top of your legs and release the neck and head, and wherever you end up is exactly where you should be. From here, with my right leg on top, I'm gonna walk over to the left. So if your left leg's on top, walk over to the right. So you're bringing your face close to this exposed foot on the top here. We're just taking a little side stretch. See how far you can walk it over while still keeping that back sits bones down. And walk it back through center. Walk your hands back to bring yourself back up, and just switch the crossing of the legs. All right, inhale the arms up, nice stretch along spine. As you bring the hands down, walk it forward, knowing this side might be completely different, and that's okay. If it's available, you're gonna just let the body rest on the legs, release the neck and head. Try to keep both of your feet active and flexed here to protect the knees. And then now I'm gonna walk over to the right side because my left leg's on top. Bow down towards that exposed foot while pushing that left hip or opposite hip back. And slowly bring yourself back through center and back up. Just bring the legs forward and shake them out for a little bit. It's a nice little hip stretch after sitting for a while. And then we're just gonna rock over the ankles into our tabletop posture. All right, so push into the hands really firmly, push into the tops of the feet so much that the knees lift a bit, and then let the knees lower. Keep that little micro bend in the elbows. Really grip the fingertips, but keep the palms pressed. We're gonna first take what I call like, opposite cat-cow. So it's where we curve and look back over our tail and then come back across and look over the other side. So you should feel like an oblique crunch. Think about your ribs and your hips getting closer together, kind of pinching. And then that other side body is really stretching out. Coming back to center, then we'll take it to the cat-cow. So drop the belly and look up. Exhale, curve, push the spine up, tuck the chin. Inhale. Exhale, take it at the pace of your own breath. And remember, the spine goes all the way through the neck. So we want to involve warming up the neck here too, is really tuck the chin into the chest when we come, push that spine up. And really gaze up as much as you can, stretching the front of the throat. And then coming back to neutral. We're gonna do something a little bit different today with our leg movement here in our core. So I'll walk us through. We're gonna do 3 rounds on each side. So the first one's a learning experience, and then you'll be able to join in easy. All right, so we're gonna take a deep inhale and have that neutral spine. As you exhale, bring the right knee into the chest, curve and round. See if you can bring the knee really close. And then as you inhale, lengthen, really point that leg up. As you exhale, bring the right leg out to the side, keeping it lifted. Inhale, back up. Exhale, you're gonna bring it all the way through in between the hands. Sit back towards the heels just a little bit. One whole breath here. Bring it back forward, bend that knee. Bring it back for one last inhale, open it up. Exhale, bring that knee down, push the spine up. All right, I'll walk us through it again, don't worry. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, bring that knee towards the chin. Inhale, really open it up, point the toes. Exhale, bring it to the side. Try to keep the foot lifted if you can. Inhale, swing it back up. Exhale, try to come onto the fingertips. Step it through, sink back into the heels, one full breath. Inhale, bring it forward, kick it back. Doesn't make sense, bring it forward, kick it back. Exhale, plant the knee, curve the spine, come back to neutral. Last one, right side. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, curve, bring the knee up, up, up. Inhale, point that toe. Exhale, bring it to the side, keep it lifted if you can. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, bring it through. Sink the hips back. One full breath. Inhale, bend the knee. Bring the foot back. Point it up. Exhale, push the spine up. And come to neutral. So we'll take that now to the other side, left leg. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, curve and round, bring that knee towards the nose. Inhale, point, look forward. Exhale, bring it to the side. Inhale, point it up. Exhale, fingertips to bring it through. Sit back. Inhale, bend that knee. Bring it back on through. Exhale, push that spine up to the sky. Round 2. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, push the spine up, bring the knee into the chest. Inhale, point the toe, open it up. Exhale, bring it across. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, bring it through. Sit it back. Inhale, bend the knee forward. Bring those toes back. Exhale, push the spine up, both knees down. Last round, here we go. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, push the spine up, bring the knee into the chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, side. Try to keep those hips even. Inhale, up. Exhale, bring it through. Sit it back, one full breath. Inhale, bend that knee, come forward. Kick it back. Exhale, both knees down, push the spine up to the side. Exhale, neutral. Nice. Something fun and new to try. Let's just walk the hands forward to come into puppy pose for a second. So hips stay raised. Sink the heart down. Forehead or chin, connect with the mat. Melt the heart down. And slowly bring yourself back up to that tabletop posture. You're going to start by kicking the left leg out. We're going to come into gate pose. So think about really pushing down into that left edge of the foot. And then you're going to bring your hands to your hips and come up. So this is one of our great side stretch oblique crunch exercises. So we'll start by bringing the right hand down. And you're going to make this gorgeous diagonal from your fingertips to the edge of that left foot. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, you're going to reach up and over to the other side. So we're feeling the crunch here now in the side stretch here. Inhale, we'll start to move with our breath here. You're going to stretch. Exhale, that side crunch there, arm comes down the leg. Let's take a couple more on this side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to center. You can bring the hands down, step that left leg into your tabletop, and we'll take it to the other side. First, easiest if you bring that foot out first, push into the heel, walk the hands back to the hips. We'll start by coming down in that left hand. Inhale, stretch it. Make that diagonal. Exhale, reach the hand down the leg. Reach up and over. Really push that right hip up here. Exhale, think about really crunching that side body. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Big deep breaths. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. Bring the hands down. Step the foot back. From here, we're going to come into our downward facing dog. And we'll flow just a couple times between down dog and plank. So as you inhale, come to the tiptoes, lift the hips, roll through the shoulders, bring it forward. Exhale, start with the hips. Come to the tiptoes, exhale, push it back. 2 more times. Inhale, round to plank. Exhale, push through the hips to bring it back. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. All right. We're going to inhale to the tiptoes. Exhale, bring yourself to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Nice straight back. Exhale, deeply fold. Bring the chin into the chest. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Come to press the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll go through 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar. All right, as we're ready, inhale, the arms up, gaze up to the thumbs, keeping that neck involved. Exhale, dive down, tuck the chin into the chest. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step walker, float it back to your plank. Maybe lowering the knees, squeezing the elbows in. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, push into the tops of the feet, squeeze the shoulders. Exhale, push yourself back, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths in down dog. As we come into that stillness, maybe reconnecting with that intention rather than allowing the mind to wander. Inhale to the tiptoes. Exhale, step it to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold, tuck the chin. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Press the palms together, gaze. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Round two, inhale. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step walker, float it back to plank. Maybe keep the knees lifted, maybe lower. Bring it all the way down. Squeeze the shoulder blades, inhale. Exhale, push it back. Downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths once again. In this down dog, really think about the hips getting light and the weight leaning back into the heels. So the way our bodies are set up, the weight's gonna wanna go more into the hands, but you're gonna sink the heels and really try to bring the weight back. Inhale to the toes. Exhale to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold, tuck the chin. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Third round. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, half. Exhale, take it back. Bring it all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Get lighter in the hands. Shoulder blades away from the ears, down the back. Relaxing the neck. Inhale to the tiptoes. Exhale, bring it to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's come to pause just for a moment. So bring the feet together, palms together, pushing into the hands, thumbs to the sternum, lengthen through the crown of the head. Just take a moment to see how centered you're feeling today. Are you feeling grounded? Are you swaying a bit? Just noticing without judgment how the body feels today. And slowly we'll release the hands down to the side. So we're gonna come into our flow. We normally begin from down dog. Today we're beginning from standing because we're gonna add in some side bends. So we wanna have the feet, you can choose, no wider than hip distance. So we don't wanna be way out here because then there's not gonna be a lot of core challenge. But if you need to be here, be here. The closer the feet are together, the more you're really gonna have to, zap everything together. I like to have a little space, but you're gonna decide as we do this, and we'll always start our flow with a side bend, so you maybe can switch it up as we move around. All right, so we're gonna inhale the arms up. My left hand is gonna hold on to my right wrist. I'm gonna inhale nice and tall so my shoulders aren't way up here, they're down my back. And as I exhale, my hips are gonna stay exactly where they are, but I'm gonna lean to the side, keeping my head in between my arms. So my head's not out here, my head's not back here. I'm trying to keep my head in between my arms. Some of us might be able to take a really deep side bend, some of us might be right here, and this is intense. So really thinking about bringing the belly button towards the spine, keeping the hips from not doing that, but keeping them right over the knees. Checking in that our arms are on either side of the ears. Keep breathing. And inhale through center. So we're taking about 3 breaths. Switch, so the right hand is gonna grab the left wrist. Deep inhale to lengthen, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, leaning over to the right. Trying to keep that head in between the arms, not letting those hips point out, but stay right over the knees. If your feet are zipped together, you obviously have less area to stand on, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging. One more deep breath. Inhale, back through center, and then release the hands down. So our arms and shoulders are going to work a lot because we try to keep them up that whole time. Now we're going to come into our tree pose. If you need to use a wall or chair to help you balance, go ahead and move yourself. We'll inhale, just bringing the right knee up just to like a kickstand position, and then spin the hip out. So we always want to start by opening our hip, and our knee should be pointing out to the side, not so much here. If when you get here, you're already starting to feel imbalanced, this is a great place to take your tree. So hands can be at heart center. If you feel like you might be able to bring that foot up to the calf, go for it. If you need to use the hand to bring the foot all the way up to the inner thigh, you can do that. Wherever the foot is, it should be pushing against your leg, and your leg is pushing back, creating resistance. The knee keeps opening to the side, and the big thing we want to avoid is just arching our back. So tuck the tailbone, get nice and long, and then think about somebody having like a string coming out from the crown of your head. All right, you can keep the hands right here, or you can grow the hands into branches, into cactus arms, hands on the hips. We're gonna take 2 more deep breaths, wherever you are at. Keep pushing that foot away with the thigh, calf, or ankle area. All right, slowly bring your hands back to heart center. Don't just throw that leg down yet. We're gonna bring the knee up, and then we're gonna step back about 3 feet. It's a short distance. We're coming into pyramid. So we're not way back here like our warrior 2, we're about there, okay? From here, we're gonna inhale our chest up, looking to the sky. As you exhale, the hands can come to the shin. They can come to the ground. They can stay on the hips. And we're working on just bowing over that front leg best we can. Our weight is gonna wanna come to that front leg. Really try to push into that back heel and that back edge of your foot. So you're redirecting that the back weight of your body that way, balancing between the two. One more deep breath here. See if you can bow a little bit deeper. Exhale. Inhale, bring yourself halfway up. You're gonna take yourself onto the hands, step that foot back, step the left foot back to follow. You can flow here or push back to downward facing dog. Once we get to down dog, we're gonna inhale to the tiptoes, exhale to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that was one side. All right, so we're coming back to our side bending. Like I said, you're gonna have a lot of opportunity to do it, so you can see, can I bring my legs closer? Do I wanna play with having a little wider stance? We're gonna inhale the arms up. Right hand is gonna grab left wrist. We're bending to the opposite side first this time. Try to keep the head in between the arms. Try to keep the hips over the knees and ankles. You can maybe add in like a little gaze up. Inhale, come back to center. Left hand grabs right wrist, bringing our side body over, keeping the hips where they're at, head in between the arms, maybe gaze up. Using a lot of core here, so my Belly's really engaged. I'm tucking my tailbone. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, then we release the arms. All right, we're gonna take that tree pose. So we're gonna add on more options every time we do this. We're gonna bring that right leg up first. No, wait, left leg this time. So bring it out, pointing the knee to the left. All right. Might be stay right here on the ankle, hands on the hips. This is option one. Shoulder blades are away from the ears. All right, you might be able to travel up to the calf. Avoid the knee area because your knee shouldn't really push back, right? We want to use some muscle to push back. You might stay right here, or you might be able to lift up into that inner thigh, wherever you're at. Shoulder blades down, knee pointed out, opening that left hip. Maybe you can bring the hands up. Maybe you want to try bringing the palms together, making kind of like I like to do like the Charlie's Angels. Point straight up. Woo. Tree sway, so can you. One more deep breath. Slowly bring the hands down to the hips. Bring that left knee forward. Exhale, step it back into your pyramid pose. So shorter stance. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Try not to let that right hip pop out. Keep them in line with the knee and the ankle. You can keep the hands on the hips. Bring it to the calf, or it's not your calf, your shin, or the ground, wherever you reach. Take a little inhale, half lift, and then use your exhale to let yourself bow over that front leg. Maybe with each exhale, you can sink a little deeper. If holding the pose does not feel good for you, you can also kind of take some movement. So sometimes I take an inhale, half lift, exhale, fold, and make it a little flowy with the breath. All right, so next inhale, we'll all come to that half lift, plant the hands, step that left foot back, right foot back to meet, flow, or push back downward facing dog. Inhale to the tiptoes. Exhale, bring yourself to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, adding on to our side bending. Now, you can always stay exactly where we're at, and you might just working on deepening the side bend, right? I'm not an incredible side bender. My yoga teacher, she's like 90-degree angle when she does this. So there's a lot of room to grow just in taking the side bend. I'm gonna add more balance into it. So I'm gonna come to my tiptoes first, all right? So I'm on the balls of my feet and I'm looking. Yes, I'm gonna wiggle a lot, but every little wiggle is a movement of your core muscles, right? So I take the good, the bad, and the wiggle. All right, so come up to the balls of my feet and I find that drishti point, my focal point. Then I'm gonna inhale the arms up. Left hand grabs my right wrist, and of course my side bend is gonna be a little less deep this time, but I'm working on trying to get on my tiptoes, working my calves. My head's in between my arms. All right, yes, I'm wiggling like crazy. One more deep breath. Exhale, I'm gonna come back to center first, and then I'm gonna let my heels come down. Right hand grabs left wrist. Inhale back up to my tiptoes. Exhale, taking it to the right. Keeping my shoulder blades down, head in between my arms. Staying on those tiptoes for one more breath. Inhale back through center. Exhale, see it down. Then my arms come to drop down. From here, I'm gonna come into my tree pose with additional options. So we're gonna start with the right leg coming up, right foot comes back. Sorry, right knee comes back, hands to my hips, stand nice and tall. Engage the core, tuck my tailbone, maybe coming up to the calf as I keep that knee open. If I come up higher and the knee starts to point forward, I've gone too far. All right, bringing that foot maybe up to the inner thigh, finding my focal point. Staying very focused here. I'm gonna give you guys a couple options. Option one, I'm gonna attempt a side bend in my tree pose. Option two, stay here, lift the arms. Option three, opposite elbow. Grab opposite elbow behind you to do some chest opening and shoulder opening. All right, if you wanna go for the side bend, which is a lot of core work because I'm already on one foot, you're gonna inhale up, right hand is gonna grab left wrist, just as we were doing before, shoulder blades down the back, and I'm leaning towards the side that my knee is on. All right, I'm really focusing on trying not to pop my left hip out, but be really strong on my left leg. Deep inhale. Exhale, I'm gonna bring myself back up, nice and tall. Release the hands to heart center. Right knee comes forward, and I come to step back into my pyramid. All right, we're gonna add on pyramid here, where we're gonna either grab an opposite elbow, or if it's available, you can interlace the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pushing the palms together as you bow over that front leg into your pyramid pose. Make sure you're not hyperextending your legs, but have a little micro bend in the knee, gazing down at that back big toe. Keep pushing the palms together. Sink it down maybe a little bit deeper. And then we're gonna release the hands down. We're gonna turn that back foot to 90 degrees so it's parallel with the back of our mat. I'm gonna plant my left hand on my shin, and this should feel really great. You're gonna open up to that triangle, spin the body open, all right? You can widen your stance if you want to. It can be a short or wide stance. Stacking the shoulders, gazing up to that right thumb. If you have any pain in the shoulder here, you can always just tuck that arm back behind the back. If any pain in the neck, you can gaze straight down at the left toe. All right? Lots of options. Deep inhale here. Exhale, bring both hands back to the ground. Step it back. Flow or push back, downward facing dog. Once we hit that down dog, we're gonna inhale to the toes. Exhale, bring it to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Press the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we got another round of tiptoeing. Or not, you can leave it out. All right, we're gonna inhale. First to the tiptoes. Inhale, bring the arms up. Grabbing on to, actually I changed my mind. Come back down to the heels. I'm gonna offer up something else. You can do the tiptoes if you want. This is another option. So grabbing the right hand is gonna grab the left wrist. And when I'm gonna tap that left foot out, I'm gonna come to side bend here, and I might try to lift that left toe off the ground, or I might keep the toe on the ground. All right, so obviously if that foot steps out, I can do a deeper side bend, and I'm gonna play with floating that leg. Just having a little fun here today with balancing. One more deep breath. Exhale, bring it back, all right? Switch, grab onto that right wrist with the left hand. Inhale, nice and tall. Step that foot out. Exhale, nice deep side bend. And then if you want to play with trying to lift that foot up, coming to balance. Yes, I'm shaking, and you should be too. It's good for you. Let those shoulders drop away from the ears. One more breath. Exhale, nice and tall. Release the hands down. Taking tree to the left side. All right, bringing that left foot, knees out. I can bring it to the ankle, the calf, the inner thigh. Ooh. All right, so we're coming into that optional side bending while in tree. Totally optional. Okay, so I'm going to inhale my arms up. Left hand is grabbing my right wrist. I've got my drishti, my focal point. I'm going to play with a little side bend to the left side, keeping my shoulders away from the ears, lengthening, trying to get my arms as straight as I can, heads in between the arms. One more deep breath. Inhale, come back up. Stand nice and tall. Bring the hands to the hips, left leg forward, and then step it back into your pyramid. Inhale, nice and tall, grabbing either opposite elbow or interlocking. Inhale, exhale, bowing forward, pushing the palms together, gazing back at that big toe. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, press the palms together. Exhale, see if you can dip a little bit lower. Slowly release the hands down to the ground. And then you're going to step that foot to the side so that it's parallel to the back of your mat. You can choose if you want a wider triangle pose or shorter. Plant the right hand and then inhale, peel that left hand up into your triangle pose. You might be on the calf, you might be on the ankle, you might be on the ground, but really trying to peel the heart open, stack the shoulders. Finding a space where we're not hyperextending our knees and locking them, but instead having a little micro bend. And keep opening up, maybe gaze up. Deep inhale. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Step it back, flow or not to flow. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to the toes. Exhale to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice. So our final peak pose of today that we're going to do before we start to cool down is Warrior 3. It's a great balance pose. And we've warmed up the shoulders for it for a couple different options. And we're just going to come into Warrior 3 rather than flow into it today. You can choose if you want hands on the ground, and I'll start by showing the modified version. Or if you want the hands up, full expression would be hands behind the back if you want to go for that. So I'll start and build up. So we'll go with the right leg first. So I'm just going to come to a forward fold. We'll let that left leg work its way back. All right, this is my modified Warrior 3. I walk my hands forward, but keep the fingertips on the ground. Try to lengthen the neck and look down. Step 2 is I might try to bring my hands to my hips. My back foot is flexed, super strong. Step 3, I might come to airplane arms. I might bring my arms straight forward, or I might interlace my fingers and come into that shoulder opening Warrior 3. We'll take one more deep breath wherever you're at. Release your hands to your hips, start to bend that front knee, and come back up to stand. Nice. We'll take it to the other side. So balancing on the left leg, we'll come into that forward fold. Let that right foot work its way back. Point the toes down. Lengthen through that back heel, nice and strong. Maybe just bring the fingertips forward a bit. Maybe to the hips. Maybe airplane. Maybe head, straight ahead. Maybe interlacing with the opposite thumb on top. Coming into that full shoulder opening. Virabhadrasana 3. One more deep breath. Release the hands. Come to bend that front knee. Stand yourself up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, just step it back to your downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, come to step it through for pigeon pose. All right, so this is our option on the belly. Option 2, on the back, figure 4 pose. All right, so we're working the right hip, whichever version you want to take. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Maybe you can come to the forearms, or maybe you can stack the fists or the hands to rest. Breathe deeply. One more deep breath on this side. Inhale, peel yourself back up. Switching to the other side, however you prefer, maybe through a down dog or just spinning that leg around. Taking it to the left hip, working those back toes back, or coming into your figure 4 pose. Nice inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, bring the hands forward and down, coming to rest on the hands or forearms. Try to keep that left foot flexed to protect the left knee. Breathing deeply, staying connected with that intention. Next inhale, you slowly bring yourself back up. Coming into, we'll all meet on our bum. So if you're in figure 4, just coming to sit up. Right? Once we're here, we're going to drop down into our bridge pose. Sorry, figure 4, I guess you didn't have to come sit up. My bad. All right, so we're on the back. Knees are pointed up. Heels are sinking into the mat. Pressing into our palms, forearms, triceps. Tuck the tailbone to iron it out. Lower back onto the mat. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, keeping the knees over ankles, gaze up, push the hips up to the sky, work the shoulder blades underneath to give yourself a little bit more height. Inhale, exhale, keep breathing. Gaze is straight up. See if you can release the glutes a little bit. Slowly lower down as you push the bum towards the heels, lengthening the spine. Windshield wiper left and right. Round 2, this time you might clasp the hands underneath, pushing firmly into the mat first. Inhale, push the hips up, work the shoulders under, maybe interlacing the hands into a fist below. Really push the hips up, gaze up. Knees over ankles. One more deep breath. And slowly pressing the bum towards the ankles. Lower back down, windshield wiper. We're going into round 3. So round 3, optional to create our supported bridge with our hands, like making a bridge for our bridge with our hands. Push into the hands, iron out the lower back, knees over ankles. Inhale, raise it up. Work the shoulder blades underneath, and then come to the tiptoes. So you can work one hand under and the other hand under. You're going to keep pushing into the hands. Don't just let the hips push into the hands. Push back, just like we did in tree pose. This will protect your wrists. Big deep breaths into the belly. Inhale, come back up to the tiptoes. Release one hand at a time and slowly lower yourself back down. Windshield wiper left to right. We don't want to pull the knees in right away. Slowly let the back neutralize the spine. Now we'll bring the hands to the knees, taking little circles in one direction and the other. We're going to finish our class out today with a shoulder stand and then into a fish pose. So if you're not feeling the shoulder stand today, you can find a wall. You can bring your legs up the wall, or you can take any inversion of your liking. We'll be taking shoulder stands here just because we've had a little bit calmer of a practice, and it's a great finish for that. So we're going to start by coming into a very similar to our bridge, knees over ankles, pushing into our hands. But then we're going to lift our feet up, making a 90-degree angle with our body. As we inhale, we're going to push into the hands. Exhale, bring the feet over. All right. The feet may or may not touch the ground. If they don't, right away you're going to bring the hands to the lower back to support the lower back. If they do reach, you can keep the hands on the ground and work the shoulder blades closer together to come onto your shoulders. All right. Then we're going to bring the hands to the lower back if they're not there already and work down closer towards the shoulders. Then we're going to inhale. You can bring one foot up at a time or both together for a little core work. And really try to get to stack ankles over knees, over hips, over shoulders. Now, if you're here out here, that's okay. Just over time, we work on engaging the core, zipping the legs together, pointing or flexing, just getting everything active as we gaze up to the toes. We shoot for about 10 breaths here, but if at any point you've got too much tension or pain in the neck, you'll just lower down the exact way we came in, nice and slowly. Avoiding looking around. Take one more deep breath here. And slowly let the feet come back over the head, keeping the hands on the lower back for support until the feet touch. If the feet don't touch, keep it right there. Couple more breaths in plow pose. Then we're going to release the hands down to the mat. Eventually, the hands are going to come together under the bum to get ready for fish pose. But as slowly as possible, you're going to lower down, staying in like a forward fold, using the core. Eventually, my hands are under my bum and hips. So as my feet come down, I start to lift up. I'm going to use my elbows to push myself up nice and high, getting my elbows underneath. And then I'm going to drop my head back down. In fish pose, my gaze is straight ahead or to the point of my nose. Really think about feeling the heart open, the chest open, our throat chakra open. Feeling open and light. And then slowly you're gonna first lift the head all the way back up, then untuck the elbows, take the hands out, and just let the head go side to side for a moment. All right, then we'll bring the knees into the chest. If you just like a standard twist, you can let the knees fall over. If you want it a little deeper, we'll take the left leg over the right as if we're sitting in the chair. Move the hips a little bit to the left, and then let the knees fall down to the right. Bring the left arm open and gaze out over that left hand. Deep breaths through the twist. Come back to center. The knees come back through. Switch the crossing of the legs. Bring the hips over to the right, then drop over to the left, knees to the left. Bring that right arm open, gaze out over to that right hand. Couple more deep breaths. Slowly release back to center. Taking any last postures or poses the body might be calling out for, and eventually working your way into your Shavasana over the next 10 breaths or so. So maybe a happy baby or another round of twisting. You just want to give yourself a tight squeeze. But we will eventually find ourselves in our final pose, completely relaxed. Just checking in that we've released the entire body so that we can be in complete relaxation, letting go of the toes, the feet, the ankles, releasing the calves, the knees, releasing the thighs, the glutes, letting the breath return to a natural state so you can release the abdomen, the core, the rib cage, the chest. Let the shoulders melt down to the mat. And relax all the way out to the fingertips. Release the neck, the jaw, the tongue. Working your way through all the tiny muscles around the mouth, the nose, out to the ears, through the eyes and the crown of your head. Coming into complete relaxation, using the intention and the tool of the breath to keep yourself right here for this final posture. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggling fingers and toes. Taking the head side to side. rolling wrists and ankles, and eventually bringing the arms up overhead, coming into a full body stretch. As you exhale, bringing the knees into the chest, and eventually rolling onto your favorite side. Taking a moment of pause here to connect with something in the day that brought you so much joy. Just taking pause for gratitude for our day. And as you're ready, keeping the eyes and body restful, bring yourself up to a comfortable seated posture. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhaling the hands down to heart center, bowing the head. Namaste.